Hey guys, welcome to the show. Tonight we have Zach and Andray with HDA Cigars, and we have John Aldi sitting in for none other than Matty the Bull. We'll be right back.
Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters of the week, it's time for the Cigar Dudes podcast. Meet your host, the OG Cigar Dude, the Cajun Cigar Rat, the Cigar Apostle, and Matty the Bull. Welcome to our show. Let's go.
What's happening, everybody?
Oh,
brother.
What's going on?
Hey guys, if y'all are watching over on Instagram, if you're going to comment tonight, let me show you what you might want to comment on. You're going to want to be on Facebook or YouTube to make your comments count. Aldi, will you introduce these guys while I'm setting up this draw thing?
Yeah, absolutely. We got this is Zach and Andray, the combined team of Hermanos De Armes or HDA Cigars. You guys are both out of Virginia. And when did you? It was April, right? Right around March, April, when the company kicked off.
Yeah, we April is when we started shipping cigars. Kind of formed a little bit before that, but April is when we went live.
Nice.
Yeah, I remember Jake getting in touch with me saying these new guys you got to talk to because I'm getting the cigars. I'll tell you if they're any good. And he called me after the first days, going, "Holy shit, you got to talk to these guys." And that was literally how it happened. And it was a phone call, and the three of us sat and bullshit for a while. And before I knew it, I had some samples in front of me. I smoked the shit out of them on a Saturday, and I was hooked. So it was an easy dive onto the team with the fellas. You guys want to just kind of do Andray? If you want to go first, just kind of give a little background.
Sure. As you know, I am Andray McCuien, retired CW3, United States Army, Signal Corps. I can say my passion for cigars started around 2008 in a deployment to Iraq. So that camaraderie experiencing with my buddies, fellow comrades in uniform and such, had an experience. We lost a member of our team, started smoking cigars. Now, let me take a step back, as a enlisted person, I used to smoke Middleton Black and Miles. And my girlfriend at the time, now my wife, was like, "Hey, if you're going to smoke something, you should smoke great cigars." And I asked her, like, "What do you know about cigars?" So I got promoted to W2 while I was in Iraq, March of 2009. And my wife gifted me Cigar of the Month Club for the rest of the time I was in Iraq. And the rest is history.
Nice.
So that's how my passion and love for cigars grew. And then we can kind of go into how Zach and I got together and started HDA.
Wow, that's pretty cool. Thank you for your service, Dre. Definitely.
Thank you.
Yes.
So is that my cue to go now?
It's your cue.
Yes. And on to you.
So yeah, I'm Zach. I'm the other half of the HDA Cigars. So I was Air Force. Don't give me too much of a hard time. I was Air Force enlisted. Much like Andray, started smoking cigars while I was in. I think I was I think I was maybe 19 when I started smoking cigars. So I started smoking pretty young.
Oh wow.
And like a lot of people, I started in like kind of what Andray said. I started smoking crap. A lot of flavor bombs, and decided to kind of dive into a few, actually, a little bit more serious cigars. Started really exploring the cigar world, and it ended up culminating back in 2017 when we met, and so we met in 2017, and Andray and I kind of both had a very similar but separate vision of, at the time, somehow getting into the industry. And at the time, we thought it was going to be starting a cigar lounge. We started pursuing it. COVID kind of derailed a lot of people's hopes and dreams, right? So rather than starting a cigar lounge and introducing a really awesome house blend or two, we decided, you know what, let's go in reverse. Instead, we'll start and come up with our own blends, and then we'll see if the cigar lounge ends up materializing in the future. So here we are, man. We jumped in head first with no experience in the industry, just a passion for cigars, and just decided to kind of take the dive, come up with a few different blends that we like ourselves, and we trusted that others would like it. And so far, the reception's been pretty solid.
Awesome.
You got to
Thank you
explain
for
how
your
did you guys meet with being in two different services and stuff? Where did that come to play?
So I retired in 2017, and I'm an IT manager by day, but a cigar aficionado by night, right? So I started talking about cigars more and more in an office space that Zach and I kind of come together on to support a specific customer. That's where I met Zach. And the word got around that I was this huge cigar guy and really getting interested in it. And Zach approached me one day. And he was like, dude, I heard you're going to start a cigar lounge. And I was like, yes, I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm going to figure it out. And he was like, I want it. And I was like, let's do it. He was like, are you serious? I was like, let's go. So that's pretty much how the story went. But as Zach stated, you know, we worked together prior to that, you know, supporting customers in the DC area.
Oh, well, nice. I just want to let everybody know tonight that, hang on real quick. What did you just cut open?
Cigar.
Let me see that.
I'm sick.
Oh,
man.
did you really?
Dude,
I'm sick.
dude.
Hey, we got some coming.
Oh my
I'm gonna
god!
throat punch you, dog.
They're too
So
good.
Anyways, I was about to tell everybody how
Really say that.
sympathetic I am toward
Right.
you right now because Randy's broke down and you know he's having his back issues. But you know what? Suck it.
Yeah, I'm sucking it up. All right, I can tell you.
So we all know you don't get high from your own supply, right? So Randy and Glenn just got back from hanging out with Ish, and they're starting their own company, and they've got 2 blends. So they came back with these samples. The problem was that they didn't allow Glenn to take the samples. They let Randy, who's been smoking them like he's a fucking job. So he's going to have to fucking cut all the cigars that he's got in half. So those of us that are going to be asked to taste them to give them feedback, have something to taste. So we're going to be tasting cigarillos at this point. And,
Yeah, I ordered
He's
some more
gonna
today.
send us nubs.
They're coming.
His empty nubs. That's all. He's like,
I
"Glen's
haven't
fine
seen
with
in
it,
the
but-"
last week and a half. I haven't seen him smoke anything but the Connecticut and the.
I know, John. I know.
That's why his back hurts.
God.
Now, Zach,
Creating a company.
was your beard a different color when I saw you on Toro? I'm just asking for a friend.
Was it a different color?
Yeah.
I don't think so. Maybe
thought
was
it
it
was
white
more-
like Aldi?
No, I
He's
thought
too
it was
young for
red
that.
or something.
He's too young for
It
that.
does look
Hey.
darker today, though.
Okay.
Does it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little darker. It's that
It's
just
all
for men
natural. I don't
that I've been
know.
using.
That soap. Hey, there ain't no
So-
shame. It's just after a while that stuff gets expensive when you got this much gray.
I mean, I don't have hair, so maybe you better bet your ass I'll be dyeing my hair. I gotta hold on to what I got, man.
Mm-hmm.
Too young to be going gray, dude. Too
Now,
young to be gray and bald.
Zach, I got a question. I need to know, and probably everybody in the comments that's watching, what team's on the other side of that hat?
Uh-oh. That'd be a Cubs. All right, cool.
I'm a Cubs fan, baby.
Yep.
Big Cubs
Okay,
fan. I don't know if you
sure it wasn't NY.
See, somebody else said the same thing. We just called him out on national, or not national, but on
It's
live.
because it's so dark in the room. He's gone straight goth in that room, so it's like,
Yeah.
That's probably what it is, isn't it? Rob, what
Yeah.
do you mean? Rob says, oh, where'd he go? It's weird seeing Randy and not hearing him. What does that mean?
Oh, you're not talking.
Oh,
'Cause you're
I'm
not
fixing
on.
to talk because
Rob, just so Zach and Dre know, Rob's a crayon eater. So
Mhm.
yeah.
I like it.
Oh, right. They met Rob.
oh,
Yeah,
that's
you guys
right.
met
That's
Rob.
what he
Yeah.
just said.
Yep.
That's right.
He's short. Is he smaller than what you thought he would be? I mean, I'm just saying. That's what he told Glenn. You're smaller than what I thought you would be. Just trying to go through here. I see if I missed anything. We're having a lot of technical difficulties, but it was my fault. Could be the medication though. If I start slurring, I'm not drinking. I'm not drinking. Just trying to knock the edge off.
High.
Somebody said it's Matt's fault.
Zach, you and Dre were saying that y'all not here in Texas yet.
No, we're mostly regional. We kind of, with a few exceptions, we mostly are in the Virginia, North Carolina, Pennsylvania, South Carolina area. So no, nothing down in Texas yet. Definitely would love to get out into that area.
So is it just you and Dre that are pushing your cigars?
Yeah, and John as well. John's our rep down in South Carolina.
I'm telling
Dre,
you,
myself, and John.
John's a good guy. John is a real good guy.
Thank you.
So I know of the Veiled Mutiny, which is my favorite, by the way. I don't know why. You know, everybody, I thought I used to like the Cataclysm more, but I think it's Cataclysm. I mean, it's Veiled Mutiny, Cataclysm, Descending Shadows for me. What that's my favorite in a row. But is that what you guys have as far as your, that's all you have right now? And you're getting, I mean, I know you just came out, but that's pretty good bangers right there. I mean, they're good cigars.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
We appreciate it. I mean, Zach and I put our heads together when we made these blends and such, right? And that was the whole goal, was to make bangers coming out of the gate, right? We didn't want anything that was super mild because that really wasn't our thing. We didn't want to go too far on, the heavy side either. So we kind of stayed in the middle, and we both decided, like, if these are something that we would smoke, we got to make sure everybody else would smoke them as well.
Right.
So yeah, that was pretty much our plan and our goal when we first came out, and we plan to stay that way for a little while. We don't want to overextend ourselves too soon, but we do want to continue to make bangers. So of course, when the next one comes out, it's going to be a banger as well.
So you're not nothing's in the works as of yet, but you got some thought processes, I'm sure, but you're not actually going through the motions or anything yet.
Not yet, but Zach and I are already kind of planning a trip to get back down to Nicaragua to visit the factory. So who knows? A surprise may be coming out of there when we get back. So.
What was the first, Zach? What was the first cigar that you tested out of those three? Do you remember?
Veiled Mutiny, man.
See,
it wasn't just those three. It was we had 10 blends. So we walked away from our factory with 10 blends, and we ended up maybe 30 of each blend or so. So we came back, or I shouldn't say we came back. They ended up rolling and shipping us about 300 cigars, so about 30 of each. And just by happenstance, the very first cigar that we lit up was Veiled Mutiny. What ended up becoming Veiled Mutiny, and only because literally the only reason was because it was numbered 1/1. It was 1/1. So we were like, all right, start somewhere. So we started with 1/1, and we were sitting outside smoking it. We're like, man, this is a very smooth cigar, man. This is, we had smoked in the factory. Over the course of like 3 days while we were down in Nicaragua, the 3 days that we were at the factory, we probably smoked the equivalent of like 25 cigars. We smoked so much. It was just straight leaves, just straight wrapper, a little bit bunches here and there. So much. So like we knew at a certain point our palate was going to be pretty jacked up just from smoking so much. So we ended up coming back. We smoked that one, and our heads were already spinning because we had smoked so much and couldn't keep half the blend straight. So it was almost like we came up with what we thought was good, and then we started like a clean palate, and like just started fresh almost. And it was like, all right, well, let's start with 1/1. And we were smoking, and we're like, man, this is a really smooth cigar. It didn't the first third was just smooth, and then it slowly started changing flavor through like the second third. And by the time we hit the last third, it was both Andray and I were like, shit, like it and hence why we came up with the name Veiled Mutiny. It was one of those that feels great at first. Started off real smooth. Started off kind of like a sheep in a wolf in sheep's clothing, and then it kind of snuck up and hit us, and so we came up with the name Veiled Mutant. So every cigar that we had, we decided to create a name based off of the blend and our experience with the blend prior to going into production.
That's cool.
Nice.
Cool. Nice.
Did y'all argue over the Veiled Mutiny, or y'all both the same, felt the same way about it when you were smoking? Like, that's the one.
I don't think we argued over any of the names at all. I think we pretty much agreed on everything and what we were trying to accomplish as far as the names and what they meant and represented for our cigar brands and how they would grasp the audience, right?
I meant, if I said names, I meant blends, because you had to excuse me if my memory or my speech may slur. It's not my fault, I promise. And I'm not drinking tonight. But I was just, because Glenn and I just went through a similar experience, and I was just kind of seeing how other people, like two guys, in partnership, how did y'all get chills at any time when you were smoking one of the cigars? Like, were you like, oh, this is it?
I wouldn't necessarily say chills, but
Just
definitely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean. For me, it was Cataclysm.
Cataclysm.
For me, I smoked. I think So we both smoked Cataclysm, and we were like, "Damn, this is that." For me, in my opinion, everybody's is a little bit different. For me, that is the most well-balanced cigar that we have. That is in my opinion, that's like if I had to choose one of the three to be, the staple, the real flagship. They're all three flagships. They're all three going to be here to stay. But if I had to pick the one, for me, it was Cataclysm. When we were smoking through it, man, I fell in love with that cigar. And, I'm a big fan of the Cataclysm.
And like, you had that moment though, like, this is going to be our cigar. All we got to do is say this is the blend we want. That's exciting when that happens.
Yeah.
Like,
Then it becomes your baby. Then it becomes personal.
Yeah.
Then it's like, oh, sweet baby.
Yeah, it becomes personal, and it becomes it gets scary too, man. There's like a lot of, like you're about ready to go down the path of no return. Not only financially, but just like from the time and the effort. And it was one of those things. It was like it was like opening up a door that you knew would never close again. And it was So I would say, that was kind of like our chills. That was when I smoked Cataclysm, that was the moment.
Did you guys? Go ahead.
I sat here. It was Saturday morning. That was the first one I smoked out of the back, and I was taking my notes. And I was by myself. I had a glass of water with me, and I was just smoking it. I wrote up everything on it, and I went to the website and looked at it. And I've never seen a matchup like that before. Like, I wrote my notes was legit on the website. Like, when you start pulling the notes out of it, and it to me, that was just, it was, when you say as advertised, the two things that just jump out at you over Cataclysm is that earthiness and the richness. And I was hooked from that first cigar.
Nice.
First third. Yep, this is it. So I know exactly what they're saying. And as a consumer, on the consumer side, and then going to say, I want to help out. That's a cigar that I've actually walked into a lounge, gave it to somebody, they lit it up, they smoked it, looked at it, went over to their partner and said, "You got to smoke this." And like, it just takes your breath away when you're sitting there and you just realize how just the construction, everything about it.
So what I think is amazing, and we say this almost every single episode, and we're almost to episode 50 or we're past. All us guys are in the cigar making business where we have our own cigars. We this, that, and the other, but we support each other. And we're like, Dre, hope y'all go to the moon. Zach, awesome. We're going to support y'all. And that's the whole thing about the cigar industry. I mean, nobody's like, I'm pretty sure there's some people that's, but for the most part, we're just like,
We know a guy.
yeah, we know a guy.
I think we all do.
And, to the moon and back, and we'll support you and put your name out there, and we're on the same journey, not as far as you guys, but we're on the same journey as you guys. But we're hoping you guys all the best, and we support you guys.
and right back at you guys, man. I mean, and I think you guys are coming into this having already had quite a few like connections and a lot more exposure to the industry than we did. But you know, I kind of envision, you know, either with you guys or brands that are coming down the line that are kind of walking in our the same path that we went down. I envision helping a lot of those guys out because you know, I mean, shoot. 2 weeks ago, I was on the phone with the owner of another small boutique craft cigar brand, and yeah, I for like 2 hours, he just gave me advice. Hey man, if I was you, I would look at kind of doing things this way, or maybe this is a consideration that it would, you know, I learned this the hard way. Don't make the same mistake that I made. Right. And that I mean, from the outside looking in, that guy's my competitor. You know what I mean? Outside looking in, he should not be giving me the advice that he is. From the outside looking in, you guys having your own cigar brand should not be having me on your podcast. But the reality is that this community, specifically what I've noticed in the craft small boutique cigar brand, I mean, like there's just been people have welcomed us with open arms. Everybody's eager to kind of help, and I think it helps when you do things the right way too, right? Like Andray and I, we didn't decide that we didn't cut corners. We didn't go about this trying to make a quick buck. We didn't go about this like trying to pull the wool over somebody's eyes. You know, some people will do you know, just like rebrand cigars. We didn't do any of that, and so we kind of went about it the right way. Is it the most financially lucrative way? No, but we went about it the right way, and right. That's, you know, I feel like people are willing to help others when they do it the right way. And
well, you get tired of smoking your cigars too. You like other people's cigars too, so that's the cool thing about it.
Well, I'm waiting on you to stop smoking our cigars.
Well, I'm doing quality control over here. I'm making sure that they're all consistent in their burn, their flavor, yada yada yada. And so far, it's right. It's a perfect 100.
You guys want to talk about how you found the factory and what that process was like? Because these guys have kind of just gone through it, where they were questioning where they were going to go, how they were going to do it. They just fell into it. They fell into a honey hole. But how you guys picked who you went with?
Do you want me to hit that one, Dre, or do you got it?
Well, we can both kind of hit it at the same time, I guess. So, Zach and I were brainstorming, you know, what factories we were going to reach out to, right? Had a lot in mind, but Zach was like, hey, have you ever heard of Aficionados Negra? And I was like, no. And he was like, dude, you got to smoke their cigars. And I think one of the first cigars he gave me was The Last Rites. So I smoked that cigar and I was like, holy smoke. I was like, I think this is up, you know, both of our alley and what we enjoy. And he was like, absolutely. And he was like, how about we reach out to him, you know, basically just like that. And I was like, I am down because, you know, you challenged me with something. I'm all about it. Like, let's go. So I literally smoked that cigar, picked up the phone, and I called their office based in Texas. Even though Angela and James, actually, they live out in Nicaragua, in the Costa Rica area, to be specific, but the factory's in Nicaragua. Called their office. And I basically went all in and pitched our deck to him, you know, veteran on what we were trying to establish, where we're trying to go, our passion and love for the cigar, for the leaf. I went down the whole gamut. And, you know, the individual that I spoke with, she was like, love your story. Where you guys trying to go? She was like, let me reach out to Angela and James and I'll get back to you. And I think maybe a week or so went by, Zach. And
I think it was even quicker than that, man.
Yeah, they called us back and was like, hey guys, let's jump on a Zoom call. And Zach and I jumped on a Zoom call with them. Once again, pitched our plan with them, our goals, our, you know, what we want to do in the industry. And she said, give us a couple days, or maybe it was a day or so, right?
Yeah, it was like 2 or 3 Zoom calls, man. It was, I mean, they interviewed us. They did their
due diligence on us.
Yeah. And then it culminated with, you want to come see us in Nicaragua? And both Andray and I were like, yeah. And they're like, really? So I think a lot of people probably, if they kind of expected us to ball, which we didn't, and the rest is history, man. This is so you guys were saying earlier, you guys or somebody's over in the Austin area, correct?
I'm in Austin area.
Yeah. We're East Texas.
What's that?
we're in East. Glenn and I are in East Texas.
Gotcha. Have you been to over in Austin? Have you been to Smokers Abbey?
Yes, I go.
Yeah.
I visit there often.
So you've seen this then, the benediction.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So this is like a Smokers Abbey exclusive,
Mhm.
and it's an Oveja Negra product. That was the first Oveja Negra cigar that I smoked, was the benediction.
Yeah, I was actually at the Smokers Abbey for their Halloween party, and James was there.
Oh, nice.
So
There you go. There you go. So I smoked the benediction and then ended up picking up a few other cigars. And then, I mean, it was just one of those that, yeah, just like Andre said, man, they're bangers. But the thing that for me is like, I love the cigars themselves. I love the profile. But for me, it was the construction. I mean, holy shit. Every single time I had one of their cigars, it was like a perfectly constructed cigar. And because Andre and I knew that it was going to be our blends, it was going to be it was going to basically be for our flavor profile, what it is that we wanted to do, but we knew that we were only as good as our factory. So we decided to shoot for the moon. The only factory that we reached out to was Oveja Negra, and we got lucky. And we got lucky, and they ended up taking us on.
nice.
I checked them out. I didn't talk to them, but I checked them out. I know they got some nice stuff coming out of there.
Well, you got Dissident and Blackworks.
Mhm.
Dissident is everything there is just a straight banger as well. So I mean, to be in the same breath with those brands, I think speaks volumes of this brand as well. And I remember talking to Zach about it early on, and he's like, "I really don't want to advertise that." And I said, "It's on the box that's Oveja Negra," and I think it's a huge feather for you guys. It doesn't take away the fact that it's your blends. These are your babies. Right. It's just that this is where they make it. So you hear that this is where it comes out. You know what to expect. You know that it's going to be perfect construction. You know it's going to be everything about it is going to be that next level. So I mean, it's just that's why it just works.
Yeah, I mean, to caveat your statement, I mean, I think Zach and I struggled with that initially, right? We wanted everybody to know that we're HDA, right? We're our own brand, all those things. And I think some of the first questions we got asked were, well, who roads for you? And we were like, well, we're kind of dancing around the question, right? And then we're like, well, if you look at the bottom of the box, you'll see, right? I mean, it's there.
I'm going to put it on a shirt. That's a huge selling point. It's a huge selling point. And the next words out of my mouth there, it's their blends. They went down there, they rolled with them. So now
Exactly.
you get blends, but this is the quality that's coming out of there. You know the quality. So you've got two pieces coming together, and that's what this cigar is.
Yeah. I think it's a big thing going down there, and sampling what they're rolling. You tell them what you like, they roll some up, and when the ones that you're trying, it sounds like because I've heard some people they try to blend for what other people like. Well, if you don't like them, how you at least a little bit, how you gonna know if somebody else likes them? But we blended for what we liked, and we like them a lot. And y'all should, I'm sure you like yours a lot too, because again, y'all have bangers. So
I can't remember them though.
It makes more sense to roll them for yourself, for what you like, than to try to roll something where somebody else likes. I mean, I guess later on, if you got 20 cigars in your core or something, maybe that could change possibly, but well, this one's this, but I don't really like this anymore. Maybe somebody, and you got 5 guys telling you they like it, and you're the only one telling them you don't. Now, maybe I would go for something like that, but
yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's like Zach, as we venture into the cigar industry more and more, right? It's like meeting a cigar shop owner that doesn't smoke cigars, and we've had that experience. Like, how don't you smoke cigars? Like, you own a cigar shop, like. So we can say 100% that all 3 of our cigars is something that we smoke, we love, and we enjoy, right?
Definitely.
Yeah, they're damn good cigars. Hey, what before we get too far in here, Aldi, what was the thing you were talking about or going to talk about?
Oh, that's right. Now I got to put my glasses on again.
Uh-oh.
It's still getting old.
Uh-oh.
So this is here it is. So just so everybody knows, Bryce from Silent Hero Cigar, he's running a holiday raffle to help homeless veterans in Cheyenne, Wyoming. So the raffle is going to end December 20th at midnight Mountain Time. 20% of all proceeds are going to go donated to help pay for the food for these veterans. Will receive on December 21st. So just hit up SilentHeroCigar.com. Hit those guys, hit it up, and he's got a couple different packages that you can buy. One's a shirt, and you can create a sample pack, and you'll get a patch and some stickers and whatnot, and you'll get a couple raffle tickets. He's got a couple different options, and the raffle, he hit up a whole bunch of us and different brands and whatnot, and everybody kind of contributed. So there's some stuff my wife put Beard Apothecary thing together, and he hit up a whole bunch of people. Did he get you guys too, Randy, with Bullet Beard? So we got Bullet Beard in there. We got Beard Apothecary. There's a whole bunch of different raffles that are going on, and it's just to raise money for his cause. So if you have a shot, head over to Silent Hero and just pick up a pack. And the shirts are killer.
Yeah, I would show one. We have one.
Yeah, Tom said there's 10 different prize baskets. That's a lot. That's good. So how long you been smoking, Andray and Zach? How long you guys been?
Literally smoking premium cigars, good cigars. 2008 deployment in Iraq, so 16 years, almost 17 years now.
Nice.
About you, Zach?
About the same, actually. About 2008, 2009. I'm a few years younger than Dre, so I started a little bit earlier, but about the same length.
Oh yeah, you had to cut the cake. That's right.
Yeah.
You were so mad. We were all standing there. And,
dude, you guys are assholes, man. I was trying to
that was great. That was great. Yeah, so then Mike had this big cake, and he said, "Who's the oldest veteran here?" And it was Bill. And Bill said, "Well, I want the youngest veteran here to come and cut the cake." And we all knew it was Zach. So I was standing behind him like this. Andray was right there like this, and Zach cut the cake for the Toro event.
So Zach, are you still liking that Cigar Bro lighter, or is it kind of?
Dude, hold on, I got it right here actually. Yeah, man, this thing's awesome. It's like you can't really tell by looking at it. It's like a freaking brick. Yeah, this thing is awesome. It's like indestructible, and the flame on it's legit. So highly recommend. Yeah, it's a really solid lighter. It's become my everyday lighter, if you will.
Cool.
Yeah, highly recommend. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. I'm so glad I was able to win that raffle.
Me too.
Again, over John. Hold on.
Have you guys heard that story? Have you guys heard that story? So he's winning left and right. He wins this Caldwell humidor. Fucking beautiful, right? So he's winning stuff. He goes, "You win anything yet?" I said, "I ain't shit." Dre left already, so his tickets were getting thrown out. And Zach looks at me and goes, "Dude, next thing I win, if I win another one, I'm giving it to you." Wins that Sasquatch. He looks right at me and goes, "Yeah, no, I'm taking that." That's too cool.
That was the only thing I had my eye on. I ended up giving everything else away. I gave it all away to other people. I gave that humidor away. Like, I just wanted to say.
Well, let me do these little sponsors real quick. As we were talking about the Cigar Bro, it's a very cool lighter. It's 3-in-1. You can head over to cigarbro.co, use cigar or CPD10, and the promo code get 10% off. It's a hell of a tank lighter, what I call it, and it has pretty much become my go-to as well. It has a deep V. Also, you got to check out Toro Cigar Company, and I know you can get some HDA cigars over there. Use Cigar Dudes, get 10% off on your promo. They're veteran owned, and we proudly support all the veterans, law enforcement, first responders, and ToroCigarCompany.com. Go check them out. You won't be sorry. Anything coming up in the very, very near future for you guys?
I mean,
that you can talk about.
that we can
talk
about.
That you can talk about.
Yeah. So we're pretty excited. CigarClub.com is going to be introducing the Descending Shadows into their luxury cigar pack for the month of January. For the month of December, excuse me. And then they're also going to be introducing Cataclysm and Veiled Mutiny into their packs for the month of January, I believe. So yeah, we're pretty excited to be working with cigarclub.com on it. So I would say that's like the big breaking news. So yeah, we're pretty excited. Then I don't know, Dre. So we're working with the factory right now on our first reorder. So we're going to have quite a few more boxes rolling in. It's going to be the exact same blends. It's going to be the exact same blends, exact same Vitola, just simply a reorder, just to make sure that we are keeping our core line in stock. And then what else? I mean, I think you mentioned it earlier, Dre. We're going to be going down to Nicaragua at some point here, early 2025, and we'll probably, maybe explore something that might be coming out to the masses here within the next year or so.
Do you wish you would have started with more than 3?
No.
Did it ever change?
Nah. What do you think, Dre?
No, I agree. I mean, it's a lot, to be honest, right? Knowing your cigars in and out, I think is key. Being able to go through every single note of it, being able to regurgitate that to the customers and get them to understand the passion and love that you have for your blends, right? So I think 3 was a good number for starting off.
Well, we started with 1. We only wanted to do 1. Then it turned to 2, and then before we started blending, we said, let's go with 3. That seemed like a good number, and we hit the first 2 blends just right off the bat, just winners. And the third one, and then we try to also do a 4th one, and we were going to wait to retry the 3rd one again, or the 4th blend that we had hanging. And now we're actually fixing to launch with 2 very soon. So instead of the 3 or the 4, so that's kind of news drop right there. But anywho, it's just kind of weird how it plays out. You just kind of don't know sometimes. You've got these plans and how things should go out, but they don't. But it adds to your story. It adds to your storyline.
I mean, to go back to what Zach said, I mean, we had 10 blends. I mean, we fell in love with 10 blends out of all the blends that we created. We're like, holy crap, how do we narrow this down? And we smoked a lot of cigars. I mean, my God, we smoked all those samples for the most part, besides a few that we gave out, and we narrowed it down to the 3 that we came up with.
Hey, Dre, we were sitting there, and this was, I'm not a full cigar kind of guy. I'm just not. Randy is, and so I'm puffing on this cigar, and I'm just sitting in my chair like.
Yeah.
And then he rolls another one and then I'm like, oh my God, I'm gonna die. I'm just sitting there like, oh.
It was funny.
I mean, Zach's never had that experience, right? So like the Bell Muni, like I told Zach, like initially it didn't catch me off guard. We both loved it. We were like, this is a great smoke, right? But it was the same thing as John stated. Like just one day, I was feeling a little Brody, I'm like, I got a little weight on me. I'm okay. And I smoked a Vel Muni with a cup of coffee and no food, and holy shit. Like
that's probably why I like that. I never even thought about it, but that's probably why that's my favorite one, because it's just more full.
Sunday morning, I was sitting here. I was having a cigar with Jake and the crew, and before I did Heathen's Church at 11:30, and I was sitting here. I was like, whew. And Jake just started laughing at me because he knew. He fucked up. Yeah, I fucked up.
Yeah, I know. That's crazy.
I'll put like Zen in, and I'll smoke cigars. And
really,
I don't know. Like I don't ever have that like smack me in the face. I mean, Last Rites is a really, really full body cigar, and I can tell it's a full body cigar, but I don't have the feeling of like, man, I gotta sit down. I gotta sit a spill. I don't have it.
Somebody needs a Roma Craft. Somebody needs a Chromag or a Neanderthal. We'll fix that.
I don't know if I mean say it or not, but I mean, I can honestly say I think also, as Zach said, they kind of they screened us, they kind of vetted us, and also when we went down to smoke cigars, they made sure that we were actually cigar smokers, right? Because we smoked a lot of cigars. And they wanted to make sure that we wasn't just about the numbers, right? It wasn't about a money thing for us. It's the passion for the leaf. And they kind of put us to the test. Like, hey, can you smoke this? Smoke this. Let's test this. Let's go there. right? And I think we held our own pretty good, Zach. I mean, what do you think?
Dude, those guys smoke a lot.
Oh,
A lot of cigars, man. Like, I mean, like, look, if I lived in Nicaragua and I worked in the cigar factory and my wife enjoyed cigars, which she doesn't, if that was the case, yeah, I'd probably smoke a lot of cigars too. But those guys, I mean, it was nice, man. Anytime we went somewhere, they grab a cigar, light up. We were smoking cigars like crazy. And I mean, I was in heaven. I was loving it. But I was just blown away by the amount that they smoked, which it was no complaints on my behalf. But yeah, like Dre said, we held our own. So
it's nice.
It's like a party.
It's nice to hear about that. When you think about it, they're also thinking about their reputation. And
absolutely.
They're not just going to put out there that you guys are just trying to make a buck off of, because it's going to fall back on them. So it's, got there are guys out there that'll they don't give a shit. They don't care whether you fail or you succeed. If they're just making the money, they don't care where it's coming from. So I've dealt with a lot of different brands that have said we don't even talk about where our shit comes from because we don't want a preconceived notion coming out because there could have been issues or whatever. But with these guys, with Oveja Negra, it's just their reputation is rock solid. You know what I mean? So it's kudos to them.
That's 100% true, John. And I mean, when we were down there, I think there was a lot of probably feeling us out on a lot of tests, like Dre was saying. And one of them was when they went through and they really explained all the different types of tobacco to us. Kind of talked about some of the qualities of each of the tobacco, where they come from, how they're sourced, what they tend to blend well with. And I mean, Dre and I were taking notes like crazy. We would smoke something, writing notes down. I think we still have some of it somewhere, but just all kinds of notes. And so then it was like, all right, go home or back to our hotel. And we just brainstormed, and we were like, these 10, we want these combinations. And they, I think that was one of the last tests. That was one of it. We gave them some of the blends that we were thinking, and they were like, okay, all right. Because I think if we had just, shit out some bad ideas, I'm sure that they would have been a lot more hesitant. But yeah, we ended up, I'll say that the 10 that we decided, I don't think there was maybe but one that I didn't really care for after we ended up smoking through the samples. And it was tough. It was tough, narrowing it down. So the good news is we still got all those blends. So at some point they're going to see the light of day, and maybe they're not going to be our flagships, but we still have some options too for short runs or for limited editions.
Glenn, what is your favorite? How many HDAs have you had?
I think 2. I think my favorite one's still at your house in your humidor.
I have an HDA here.
Yeah,
because I haven't looked. I didn't know I still had one.
Yeah,
because I remember when you haven't smoked anything for the last 2 weeks other than your shit.
I told Aldi earlier. I said I think I have one in there, but I don't know that. I should have told my wife's the one that had to grab my cigars for me because I made it out here and sit down. What color's the ring? The wrap? The
gray and black. Black.
Okay, so that's shadows.
Yeah,
that's that baby right there.
Okay.
Yep, that's it.
I love the simplicity of y'all's logo, but it's so simple, but it looks really friggin' cool.
So Zach and I, we had a discussion about that, right? And you know how we came up with that? We're both kind of Jack Daniels fans, and the simplicity of the logo, the black and white. We just loved it. It just pops. It speaks to you, right?
Yeah.
We didn't want to go overboard. I mean, what do you think, Zach?
Yeah, the goal was we wanted it to be more kind of like a modern look rather than the traditional family crest, giant seal, flowers and leaves and lions and all kinds of crazy stuff. We just wanted it to be a little bit more modern.
Well, it's super clean. I mean, it's easy to read, but it looks badass.
Yep. Yeah, just wanted it to be modern, clean. And then we liked the idea of just doing different colors. We liked the idea of distinguishing the blends by different colors. Because I know, man, you'll have some brands, man, will introduce 10 different blends, 4 different vitolas each, all different types of vitolas, and they all have different labels. And man, it gets like some of these brands. I don't know how they keep everything situated. So
Did y'all always know you were going to go with a foot band too, or just did you ever think about doing like a secondary band under the main band, or did you just always know you were going to go with a foot band? I mean, did that change at any time?
yeah, I mean, it kind of rotated a little bit, but there was originally we were thinking maybe just like a secondary band, but we ultimately ended up I don't know. We knew that there was going to be a second band. Yeah. I don't know if we were necessarily like it was going to be a foot band or just something under the main band, but we knew that there was going to be a second band because we wanted.
I think initially we may have had the name like a little bit higher, closer to the Hermanos or Armes band at the top, the first band, and then we decided to push it down on the footer.
And I asked that because we're struggling with that right now. We're fixing to have to make that decision this weekend, I would imagine. So I've smoked a lot of cigars. Now I've smoked quite a few. I've probably smoked a couple boxes worth of y'all's cigars since y'all came out. I mean, I've smoked a lot of those.
Thank you.
A lot of them where I was buying 5-packs of one, 5-packs another. But I've never had any issues with y'all's foot band. There's a lot of cigars that I've had issues, like maybe a silk band, they got it taped and it peels some of the wrapper, or there's issues like that I've seen with foot bands, but y'all's works perfectly. And that's what scares me, because you're trusting somebody else to put that on there.
That was huge. That was one of the things that we talked with the factory about, was like, I hate like if we take the actual taste, if we take the actual like flavor of a cigar away, the things that were sticking points for both Andray and I were how easy it is to get the bands on and off, or I should say off, not on, obviously, but to get them off. I hate having to sit there and like fumble fuck with a band
get your knife out or long fingernail.
Where you like kind of slide it off and it starts ripping the leaf. I just want something that's off real quick. The construction of the cigar is like the best tasting cigar. If it burns like shit, I won't smoke it again. Period. End of story. It drives me nuts. And yeah, but the labels, that's 100% true. And I would say that for us, the factory that we're with doesn't apply the labels to the cigars. That's done by the label guy, the label guy, right?
That's cool.
And so making sure you have a good grasp of how, like, what their process is, and examples of how they apply it, what type of glue that they use, that's huge. And so I would say that's definitely important. And you were talking about the foot band, but it also applies to the main band too, because I know I smoke one thing on this part. So being able to get that off is, it's equally as important.
Absolutely. There's been some that you're smoking halfway through the daggum band, still trying to get it heated up enough to peel off or something.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I've actually talked to companies, and I'm like, your bands are. I love the cigars, but the bands are a bitch. Oh, you gotta you gotta smoke it down to the band and let the the heat of the cigar melt the glue a little bit. I'm like, no, that doesn't fucking work. The band lights higher.
Still not coming off.
Yeah.
What about you, Crispin? What's your favorite HDA cigar? Have you smoked any?
I smoked a Veil Mutiny yesterday and a Catechism today, and this one's pretty good too. But now knowing where the kind of factory are, it kind of pops up a little bit more. From the ones that let's just say the ones I've had before to this, I really do enjoy these two, and they're really good. Sorry, I just ran inside and ran back outside, so I'm like, gotta get set up again.
Cataclysm's yours, Aldi?
Nope. Well, it used to be, and in the very beginning, that was the one, because it just I love that richness and the earthiness of it. And talking with Zach and Dre about it one day, I was like, dude, I said my first sale. He's like, what are we gonna do? Because we hadn't even, there was nothing. It was just gentleman's agreement. I'm gonna try and move the sticks for him, that kind of thing. And he said, I'll send you a box of Cataclysm. And so I got some sample sticks, and there was a box of Cataclysm in there. He goes, you open it yet? I'm like, no, I didn't make a fucking sale yet. So man, I made that first sale. I came home, I opened up that box and smoked one right out of it. And then I don't know, it was a couple months ago. He said, what's your favorite one? I said, Mutiny. He goes, really? I said, yeah. It just, I don't know. It just changed. It just hits so different. So different.
That's
Yep.
how I am.
Absolutely
Yeah,
love
I
that
have-
stick. I'll smoke any one of them anytime. But it just, I don't know, if Mutiny's just got, there's something about it.
I had
That's
that
the
one
one I
last
bought
night.
the most of.
Yep.
Do y'all have your Dre or Zach? Do you have which one is your favorite? No, you can't say all of them, right? Well, I guess you could. You could say all of them because I like
So-
both of ours. I can't
So
pick
for
a favorite.
me, I think my flavor profile is more regional based from Nicaragua now that we kind of know the regions and what
Mhm.
tobaccos come out of there. I'm a huge Omotepe fan. It's that volcanic region, soil super dark and rich, and it's just amazing, right? And I can instantly taste that now when I smoke my cigars, right? And I think, as Zach stated, the other 7 cigars that we didn't put out, right? I think there's a little Omotepe in almost everything that we kind of blended up together while we were down in Nicaragua. But that's kind of, where I am now. It's more so regional based now.
Mhm.
Of course, I love Jalapa, the Condega. I mean, it's just, I can taste it now in the cigars because we've been doing it for a while now.
It's really cool, isn't it? It's like going to school or something and learning about it. It's just really neat to learn that when you smoke those leaves and stuff by themselves. And
Oh, it's awesome. I mean, you pick up a cigar, you light it up, and you're like, I know exactly where that came from. I can taste it. Like it's just amazing.
And you also know where some of those leaves don't blend well together. Like they just don't mesh
absolutely
good together, which is
absolutely.
Then when you got somebody master blending them, that's like, how the hell do they
I mean,
remember
that's
that?
something, we learned too, putting the blends together and then the binders. And then some people tend to mess up the profile with the binder before you even get to the wrapper.
Mhm.
Right. So we kind of stayed neutral on the binders. We didn't want that to affect the blends, but the wrappers enhance the blends. So those kind of merge together.
Did you guys ever come when you were going through the blends? Did you ever find one that was filler binder that you're like, this is the one right here? This one here is great. Is there something we can put on it that's just gonna keep it at this flavor profile? Because I've done that where we've smoked some stuff in different parts, and we got to I know what the final was, and then we smoked the wrapper and the binder, and I was like, I don't want to smoke the regular cigar. I just want the wrapper and binder. It's just perfect. And so it's I think it's kind of fun to try and play with that stuff.
Yeah, I mean, so when we were down there, we didn't smoke a lot in the way of wrapper. A lot of what we smoked was almost all filler and some binder. So we had, I would say we were like 85% of our focus was on the filler. And then it was pairing the filler that we walked away with, maybe 4 or 5 different blends of filler and different wrapper like pairings. And so it was like us kind of like, what do we think pairs really well with this specific filler? And so, yeah, I guess kind of in a way, we definitely, I think, again, I kind of mentioned Cataclysm. I think the Cataclysm filler, we walked away from all, like, both of us, like, really, really liking it. We just didn't know what kind of wrapper we wanted to pair it with initially. And then we ended up smoking the samples, and it was pretty obvious.
Yeah, because I geek out with that stuff, like, because it just blows my mind the way they construct them, and it's literally just leaves, and you're putting them together, and just the flavors that come out of them, and just how they work. And we put this type of a wrapper on because it's thin, and then the binder comes right through that, and just the merging of the flavor, it just blows my mind. I love every bit of it.
Yeah, it's definitely. I mean, it was like a crash course while we were down there, man. We were like drinking through the fire hose, man, learning a lot. It was fun, man. It was, and I mean, we still are learning quite a bit. By no means am I like, just because I'm a part owner of a cigar brand doesn't mean that I know more than anybody else. It's just I'm enjoying learning while I go along. I'm still learning stuff about cigars and about the industry on a daily basis. Having a great time. I'm like, I've been smoking for like I said, like 15 years, and a majority of that 15 years was just me trying cigars, being like, oh yeah, I like this, but not really knowing why I liked it. and still I'm still kind of learning what it is I like, and what each kind of tobacco tastes, like how it tastes to me versus how it tastes to others, and how to really come up with descriptors for some of that flavor. It's been a lot of fun, man. It's definitely been a lot of fun. I know Dre and I are super stoked to see where the brand's going to go in 2025. We're really excited, and we're excited for you guys too, man. When are you going to send us a couple samples of some
Absolutely.
black pearls, dude?
Hey, we can trade. We can trade,
We don't
right?
really have any left.
We can definitely trade. I was going to
There's not
tell
much
you.
left.
Well, we actually we geared up. We made an order today, so made our first order today. So it's actually going quicker, and that's what I was going to say. I know you guys probably know who Ish is, Bamp Cigars.
Yep.
He's opened up his first Bamp cigar lounge, and
Oh, nice.
if you're disclosing that you are that his factories make your cigars go into the lounge automatically.
Nice.
Also, if you become a member of the TPA, which he's one of the founders of that, you become a member of that, you can also get your cigars in his lounge that way. So if you're interested in that, I can tell you, offline or whatever to more details about it, but it's a really good opportunity. I think it's a very, very good opportunity.
I've already got it.
You already got them on there. Yeah,
We'll be talking very soon.
yeah. It's a really cool opportunity.
It's an amazing. It's not cool. It's an amazing opportunity, and I'm not just saying that. It's because you're. Yeah, I've been. Yep. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say
that. Go ahead, Zach.
For everybody that's listening out there too, is like, we're available online. You'd mentioned Toro Cigar Company is one of our big online partners. They carry us, but we really also extremely value the brick and mortar location. We don't sell direct to consumer. We only sell through retailers. Because of, Dre and I really believe in the important part that brick and mortar and small online, or I shouldn't say small, but like online retailers play. And, we don't want to kind of get cut them out, if you will. So if there's, like for anybody listening, if you guys have cigar lounges that you think that you like HDA to roll into, just email us info@HDA Cigars. Let us know, and we're more than happy to have that conversation with the retailer in your guys' area. We talked about Texas earlier. We're primarily focused in the Northeast right now, simply because that's where John, Andray, and I live. John's more in the Southeast, but the East Coast. Outside of that, just info@HDA Cigars. Just hit us up, and we would love to have some of those conversations and see what we can do.
We definitely back HDA.
Maddie doesn't listen, guys. I barely made it out to this podcast tonight, so
nobody cares.
Let alone somebody said "Descending Shadows" for the win.
Absolutely correct.
He said "men." ... and Aldi.
Aldi.
Zach or Aldi. Gray, which one of you got a sample pack or whatever what the drawing is for tonight?
I got you right here. So this is one of our sample packs right here.
Yeah.
Kind of hard to see through the actual plastic, so it's one of each of our cigars. The Cataclysm.
Okay, hold on.
Those are beautiful too.
Tell me about your camera.
Oh yeah.
Is it a good
camera? Great shot.
It looks awesome.
Yeah,
it's very clear.
Very clear. What do you got going on there?
It's a Nexigo. I don't know, man. I got it off of Amazon for like $50.
Amazing
it's
shot.
Called good
dude.
Internet. It's called good internet.
It's an amazing shot. I was just everything was clear. Everything was crystal clear.
Yeah.
It's probably the light he has too in the dark
wall. Up on the big screen again. All right.
So I could have sworn his beard was red, but
a red beard. So yeah, it's going to be one of each of our blends. The Cataclysm, Veiled Mutiny, and Descending Shadows. That'll be what we're sending out today. It'll come directly from Andray and myself. And yeah, I guess that would be the giveaway today.
Yeah, that's a hell of a win too, because they're very good. I just realized like seeing them together, because I guess I've never had them together, because I've had like a 5-pack of Mutinies over here and some others in the other humidors. I've never really just seen them lined
All
up that I
together?
can remember. And that Mutiny is darker. I mean, it doesn't necessarily mean something, but I mean, it is darker. But I guess the band is what always threw me off. Like it's a lighter band on the
No,
darker,
Maddie,
which
you
looks
can't
nice.
win.
Yep. A little bit later.
Yeah, we're gonna do that drawing here pretty quick. So, Aldi,
Well,
go ahead.
Real quick, do we have a census within the group, within all 6 of us, saying Maddie can do a hashtag and try to win this?
No, he's part
Hey,
of the
fuck no.
podcast.
All right, perfect. I love it. Thank
Yeah.
you, Maddie. Pissed off.
He's the one that had to work tonight.
Right?
Yeah, not my problem, dog.
Yeah, y'all better get them hashtags in. We got, I see 27 entries, but there's almost
Hashtag
30 watching.
HDA Cigars. Come on, guys. Come on, guys.
Except for G Ramos' car on there, he can't. G was actually the company's first sale. He's a buddy of mine. He bought a box of each for the company's first sale. So yeah, man. So G has quite a few, but I'll get him a sample.
Now we're getting ready to do the hashtag, the drawing, Ben. His wife. What did your wife win, Ben? What did she win? The muffler.
Yeah.
Oh, that's Tara. I just to remind her, I don't know if I text her back, but remind her that I reminded Ish today, and he said he's going to get it out. He has been super, super busy lately. What's everybody saying here? Oh,
HDA Cigars.
I'm getting close.
Oh, everybody's starting to. Oh yeah, everybody's making sure they got it in there. What'd you say, Aldi?
No, I'm reading Brian's.
What's up with Young Gandalf? Are you smoking a pipe?
Yeah,
Oh,
that's a
no.
badass shirt.
Craftsman
That's a
is
really
smoking a
nice
pipe.
shirt. Yep.
I don't know why he said. Oh, he said young. He said young. Okay,
Young
now I
Gandalf.
get it. I thought he was calling you young Gandalf, because you do look like a young Gandalf, Aldi.
I used to be called Fat Gandalf.
Oh no, you didn't.
Let's see. One more. He said he threw in the pipe, actually. Oh yeah, he did say that. I remember him saying that too.
Guys, Zach, have you guys seen or heard about the muffler?
I have not.
Yeah,
So,
that's the what?
It's 92
Yeah.
cigars rolled into one, and it is literally like you can't see it on my camera, but it's got to be like I don't know 2.5, 3 feet long.
It's 25
something-
inches.
Yeah.
25
inches.
inches long.
You gonna smoke that?
It's 25 inches and
Oh no, one of the
350
dudes
ring
was
gauge.
one. His first words is this doesn't come with berries.
Oh my god.
I won one of his Moacs, and it's a 12-inch cigar with a lot of Cuban tobacco in it, so it's going to be nice. But I'm not smoking it. I'll have to cut it in half and smoke it. I'll have to give Glenn half of it or something. We'll have to. We were supposed to wrap it when we were there. We were supposed to wrap it so we could cut it without cutting it or without tearing it up. But we'll see what happens.
You're just gonna light it in the middle and y'all smoking on both ends,
Yeah.
right?
We'll take a fish lips and all.
Oh my god.
G almost said we call that average in these parts. Come back, cigars. Tom, all you gotta do is hit him up, and he'll send you one. Let's do the drawing real quick that away, and then we'll see what else we got to talk about here. Let me get this thing up here. I'm doing okay. My mind, I feel my mind slipping. Am I stumbling a little bit?
No,
No,
no.
you're good. You're good.
You're good.
It's my wife said you're probably going to be. I didn't even take the hard stuff yet. Okay, we'll do this.
Taking medication for that.
Who's snoring?
As she said.
Oh man. Well, here we go. You must be present to win.
Come on, guys.
Everybody hold your text and all of your comments and stuff until after the winner has a chance to say I'm here, because it helps them get their stuff in quicker.
Because
So
it's
here we go.
crap down.
Well, guys, there's 30 people watching and there's only 27 entries. So hashtag HDA Cigars. You got to do it right now. Hashtag HDA Cigars. All right, here we go. Round and round she goes. Where she stops, nobody knows.
Boy, I hope I win this. That would be so funny.
It's amazing.
Winner, Jason Friesel. I saw him on here a while ago.
I
Are you
did.
still here,
He's
Jason?
on.
Hey, he
Hey,
won.
Chris,
He
you
won
on, big
something
dog.
about a month ago.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, Frizzle.
Oh,
There
No,
he
he's
is.
here. Big
You
dog.
got a winner.
And I know exactly what it looks like. This is him right here.
just bald.
The what? What are you saying about? I turned and made it start hurting again. What'd you say? You know exactly what? You, Glenn.
Oh, Jay Frizz is sitting in his chair, leaning back with his hand just like this, just looking at his TV. Looking at
He said LOL. Oh
Yep.
man, that's a
Jay
nice.
Frizz.
We already got his info too. So
Yep.
Yeah.
Just the fire
Send it our
chief
way.
right up the road from us.
Yeah, send it our way, and we'll get them. We'll get them a sample pack. I saw somebody jump in the chat, said what branch, since we're veteran on.
oh yeah.
I saw he said he's retired Air Force. So my man, I'm also Air Force.
Boo. No.
And we got an army right here too. So
Who's army?
It's a joint
Who's army?
task force.
I'm Army.
Dre's army.
Oh, Dre. What was Maddie? He's
Maddie's Coast Guard
Navy.
probably.
Navy. Maddie, you Navy?
Waterlog.
I can't even remember. It does mess
Maddie's
with your
Space
memory a
Force.
little bit.
He's Space Force.
I think he is Navy, right?
Space Force.
Yeah.
I never got a Space Force. I might do the Space
Hey,
Force if I have.
I was a bad boy. Look, I was enlisted in Warren, and then I married a West Pointer. I mean, it don't get no better than
No,
that.
you didn't.
Yes, I
Holy
did.
Crap.
I went through a lot of shit. Y'all have no idea, though. I had to fight off a lot of West Pointers, but
My grandfather was a sergeant in West Point. So yeah, that's awesome.
that's awesome.
Maddie probably already jumped off because he saw me. I didn't win.
Yeah, yeah.
I can't
Maddie's
win.
like,
I'm getting
"Ah,
off
I ain't
here.
done it, I'm gay.
He's being cranky today.
I can guarantee you his last words were fucking Aldi, and he jumped up.
Yeah, probably so. I wish I could be sipping on some bourbon right now. That would make my night a
Probably
lot
want to go
better.
live on Instagram.
So let me ask you guys this one: when you were smoking, when you were testing blends down there, do you have anything that was just like fucking out of the box, like just crazy? Because like I think about some of the stuff that I smoked from Blackworks and whatnot, and they have one, the paper crane. Like I was smoking that, and I was like, man, where's the flavor? Where's everything in this? And then I retroed, and I was like, holy shit, it was all there. And like that blew my mind that they can make a cigar that all the flavor and everything that you get out of the retro. Did you guys have anything crazy like that when you were down there testing? Like
Are you specifically saying like their blends themselves, or just like once we started putting a few things together?
just the ones you guys were putting together, or were they all pretty much straightforward? But there was no, like, I don't know. That was like fucking magic to me. Like, how do you do that where all the flavor comes out in a retro?
I mean, yeah. So I personally, I think a lot of this is very subjective, but I personally still feel that way about Cataclysm. And I know I've said it like 3 times on here that it's something about that cigar on the retro. It had me hooked. That was one of those that I smoked it like the first few puffs. I was like, well, this is pretty good. And then on the retro, I absolutely fell in love with that cigar. So that's kind of the way I felt about Cataclysm. But like a lot of what we were smoking were like individual tobaccos too, which you're probably not going to get nearly as many complexities with individual individual tobacco leaves here and there. But so here's a question. So when you guys have, and this, I guess this would really be for anybody who's ever been to like a cigar factory. When you went into like the aging room, did you spend much time in like the factory's aging room?
So we didn't get to go to the factory. We had made plans to go to the factory, but the timing was Thanksgiving week. We left that Sunday before and came back Friday after Thanksgiving. That was just the time that we had to go, and he couldn't be down there, and he couldn't go to the factory. So he was, and there was some actual, like we were going to say, at a resort that was down there, because it was kind of a vacation anniversary work package all together. And so we had to make it work. And where were we going to stay? We're an hour away from the factory, and then that was going to cause a trouble. Anyway, it just worked out better. He said, well, let's just come to the house. We can do it here. He's got everything to do there. We did talk about all those kind of things and stuff, but it was still a great experience because we still got to do all of the next time we do it, though. I told him we're going to the factory just because I want that, not just I just want to understand it a lot more than what I do, you know. Not so, but no, we didn't.
What, John? How about you?
No, I haven't been to. I've been toured through a factory. I got one of the guys that I work with in Honduras. He's taking me through the factory, just like kind of like pictures and FaceTime kind of thing to see it, but I've never actually been in one though.
I was blown away by the aging room that Oveja Negra had. So when you walk into their aging room, it's sealed off from the rest of the factory. You're not allowed to smoke in the aging room. It's like super controlled, and it's like got these really, really tight doors, and they have probably, I think she said that they had somewhere in the vicinity of like 500,000 cigars, unbanded, just rolled, sitting in these cedar shelves. There's this massive room. It reminded me of like a when you walk into like a bank vault, and you have like your safe deposit box, and you have your table in the middle where you put your safe deposit box, and it was just like just cedar all the way around with like cedar shelves in the middle, just filled with cigars. The smell that comes out of that room was, it was to the point to where I could only be in there like for 3 or 4 minutes because
the ammonia. It's the ammonia.
Overpowering smell, dude, of the ammonia. It was wild.
It was amazing.
Oh God, it was so cool. It was so cool. So anytime we'd go somewhere, we'd pop in, find a cigar, grab it, just throw it in, and just smoke one. Yeah, it was great. It was an incredible experience. Dre and I were going to try and get back actually like here in a week or two before Christmas. We just couldn't quite make it happen right before Christmas. So instead, we're gonna be going back, like I said, at the beginning of the year. So we're looking forward to it, going back down there. But yeah, it's a really cool experience. I highly recommend it. I know, Randy, you said you guys are going to, so you should enjoy the shit out of it. It was really cool. It was a really fun experience, and getting to see and meet like all the rollers as well. Mm-hmm. And watching them just like, you know, I see like people that'll like, you know, for parties or events will do like their own rolling, and it's pretty cool. But when you watch somebody whose literal job it is that they make a living off of rolling cigars, I mean, it was incredible. It was incredible to watch them do what they do.
I think it's important, very important, to go there as often as you can to talk to the people that are messing with your cigars, get to know them, get them to know you, because it becomes that more personal, can become more personal, and maybe they're going to do a little bit better on your, who knows? You know what I mean? They get tired. I mean,
for sure,
you're going to make mistakes and stuff, but.
So I'll say that, I apologize. I've said this before, so people who have seen me on the podcast have probably heard this, but so my wife is actually Nicaraguan. So I've been married to her for 16 years. And so right. She's actually,
he said, get it right. She's watching.
Yeah, get it right.
16. We hit 17 in March. So we've been married, you know, for quite a while, well before I smoked cigars. So she's Nicaraguan, and it was kind of funny. The very first time I ever went to Nicaragua was actually without her, and was there to go smoke cigars and for a cigar trip. So, but going down there and having that like personal connection, knowing that my wife and my daughter's people, like that's like that is the where her and her family are from. And going down there and seeing Angela and James at the Oveja Negra factory and seeing the true personal relationship that they have with the locals that work in their factory and how they treat them, and how it genuinely looks, feels, and is more than just, these are people that we pay, they come in, they roll cigars for us, they do a good job, and then they leave. Like, there is Angela and James, the attention to detail and the passion that they apply to every aspect of what it is that they do in their factory is extremely apparent, and it carries over to how they treat and the relationship that they have with all the rollers in their factory. And it was something that was really, for me, it was something that was really important, knowing that they're not just going down to a country like Nicaragua, taking advantage potentially of the locals in the area, cashing in on some cigars, paying them a barely livable wage, and dipping out, knowing that they were truly taking care of those the people that work in the cigar and treating them like families, was something that was really important to Dre and I.
Yeah, it makes sense to me, man.
Yeah.
Hey, both companies, for the record, I have a passport. Just saying.
We took ours with us just in case we got to take a day trip to the factory, because I guess Ish and whoever, they fly helicopters and stuff, and it was just the timing was not there, and of course his mother's there and all kinds of stuff. It was just a whole weird thing, but we enjoyed it. We enjoyed our trip down there for sure. It wasn't not a wasted trip. I don't know if it would. I don't know. It was just fun, very fun, very. But right now, like you guys, being really new, like when you launched, what was your nerves like?
You want me to?
Yeah.
So, I had to give my wife a whole PowerPoint presentation on this investment, right? And she knew how I felt about cigars, but every time she gives me crap about it, I always point back to her like it's her fault, right? So it technically is.
You said yes.
But I mean, just the love and the passion that we have for it, I felt like it was worth it, whether we succeeded or we failed, right? I think Zach and I both were kind of on ends. But one thing I can say about it, HDA is Zach and I. That's it. We don't have any investors, none of that. It's Zach and I putting our hard-earned, money into this business because we're that passionate about it. And we're going to be successful. We both have our moments, but we push each other, we nug on each other. And we just keep driving forward because we see the future in it and where we can go.
It was nerve-wracking. It still is nerve-wracking, man. Every time we cut a check, I'm like, oh, Lord. You guys just had that. You guys just had that. You guys just cut your first check, man.
Today.
It's nerve-wracking.
Yeah,
you got to eat ramen for a little bit. You got to financially recover from this.
Let me tell you, look at that phone, and it says Zach is on. Like, fuck, what did I do? What did I do? What did I do? He called me yesterday, and I was like, what's up? He's like, nothing. What's going on? I'm like, oh, God, here it comes. What's up? He's like, no, this is good. I'm like, okay.
I was going to say, hey, man. So I got.
Yeah. Do y'all see the balance, right? I'm trying to be professional. Zach's like, no, man, we cut the check.
Yeah. That's right.
I understand.
Yeah, I'm the one that's wanting to go. Glenn's the one like, hey, chill for a minute. Let me let this dog lick my face for a while. Let me think about this. That's what he just did. He just did that again. Whose dog was that, Glenn?
It was my dog.
I've never seen that little dog. I thought you only had two.
Well, she's the one we keep in the dungeon. She's the one that gets the checks from the government.
Okay, that's that.
That's the welfare dog.
That's the welfare dog.
But again, like has y'all's plans changed at all? Like for us, I said it earlier, we went with 3 and then with 2, and now because of the special opportunity that's coming up to be in the grand opening, our Ish has told us, they're going to be fine. Everything will be fine. But today is about this is the time crunch today. If you want it in there by then, we got to, get to the factory and get them going. And so then it becomes, okay, how many are we going to buy? How many do we, because we had this whole plan to buy X amount at one time and then go from there. And this just changed, which is not a big deal for him. It's not a big deal for us. It actually might even be a blessing in disguise, really, because we're, doing a lot less of what we were actually planning on spending as far as our budget. And so we'll see. But did any of that stuff like that happen with you guys, or you just kind of just had your whole business plan and everything's flowed easy, or has it been some hiccups with it?
Oh my God. I wish it flew easy. I wish everything was like, oh, dude, this is, I said I was going to do X and we did exactly X. I really wish that happened for Dre.
Oh.
It's changed a bazillion different things. Everything's
Yeah.
and it's going to, man. Like, I my day job, I work in business development. And so like, it was kind of one of those things, man. I knew going in, I was like, as 100% solid as a deal looks like it's going to be, it never is. And so just understand, you just got to be what is it? Who was it that said everybody's got a great plan until they get punched in the face, man?
Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
Right. So like that's exactly what it is. You're gonna get punched in the face probably at least once before you even receive your order.
Yeah.
Right.
Just I mean, dude, the amount of times that shit changed from the time that we visited the factory until we received our product. Like there, and it's not necessarily a bad thing, but just things were different. And so you just had to be ready to roll with the punches, man. But you just got to trust in your product, man. That's the biggest thing is throughout it all, just Dre and I have trusted in our product. When we were cutting the big checks, we just trusted in our product. We trusted that we partnered with the right people. We trusted that we were putting our heart and soul into what it is that we're doing. We trusted that people were going to like it. I mean, it's a big chance because like Dre said, we made cigars for what we like, and we trusted that other people were going to like it too. It has been that case so far that other people do like what it is that we're making. And but we just placed our first reorder, like we said. Still nerve-wracking, man. It's still nerve-wracking. So
that never stops, even all the way up to where we come in is trying to sell the stuff is because until that shit's in the lounge, that shit ain't ever done. I mean, it's just there's so many variables and so many things. You get that first phone call and you're like, yeah, we are pumped, everything is going great, and then all of a sudden fucking something changes and you're like, oh my God, man. And I take that shit personal. So what did I do? How did I fuck that up? And it's like, it's us. It's 99 out of 100. It's not us that is doing it. It's an outside influence that came in and just kind of put a monkey in the whole thing. And now you're
perfect example, brother. Mailing. Like, we'll talk offline. Mailing.
Yeah.
Have you guys mailed cigars yet? Have you guys ever had to mail cigars?
Oh my God, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, not like that though. Not with your guys.
Not one package. Not one little package. It's when you got to fucking ship 12 boxes, 15 boxes, and then you're like, holy shit. It changes the dynamic. It changes the price point. It changes everything. It changes everything.
Yeah, that was one of the ones that we were like, it's the little things that suck the most, man. It's not the like, it's not the fun, like, it's not the things that you think when you're starting a cigar company. I'm gonna have to worry about like the presentation. I'm gonna have to worry about like the quality of the cigar. We got all that stuff nailed down. Like that's the easy part at this point. It's all the little things like Venmo and PayPal. They don't like tobacco companies. Figure it the fuck out, right? This credit card processor won't touch you because you're a tobacco company. This website host won't touch you because you're a tobacco company.
Yep.
How are we going to get cigars from point A to point B because UPS and USPS don't like tobacco? It's all those like little things. And I mean, look, it's been painful along the way, but we're persevering, man. We really enjoy what it is that we enjoy our product. We enjoy the camaraderie. We enjoy meeting people like you guys. It's been fun. It's been fun learning. So I'll like dead serious, man. If you guys have some questions about any of that, definitely hit Andray and I up because we're more than happy to help you because it's a learning process.
Dude, and you got to keep your wits about you because we had an order come in and we were beside ourselves, just excited. And in the next breath, Zach had to take me off the ledge saying, listen, because of this is what we have to do. We had that next plan. We have everything has to be strategic, and you got to stick to that strategic plan, because the last thing as a rep, the last thing that you want to do is call a place that put an order and say, hey, I don't have them right now. I'm not going to get them. So your supply is huge. And one of the biggest issues with any of the small craft companies is when they run out of shit and they can't supply. They're not waiting. People are not waiting for the stuff. They're just not waiting for it. They're going to move on to the next thing. Yep, they're going to move right on to the next thing, because you're going to get your legacy shit. That's easy. It's always there. But when it comes to this stuff, because it's such a small percentage of the community, they want it when they want it, and they're used to getting the Perdomo, all that other shit. Perdomo. You heard me, Glenn, right?
I did.
Okay. Well, Glenn Birches that every time, but they're used to being able to get that stuff. But when it comes to what you guys are doing, if you don't have the supply there, they're not waiting for the next one. It's just that people are fickle when it comes to that shit. They want it.
Yeah.
And then on top of all that, you still have to stay prepared. For preparedness meets opportunity. You got to stay ready, so you ain't got to get ready. And that's tough.
You guys, it's a small piece, and you're waiting for everything is coming in, and all of a sudden you get the phone call that your factory burned down that was doing your bands and your boxes. Now what? You know what I mean? Yeah. You got a release coming out for a certain time, and now or a hurricane fucking happens and it slows everything down, and now it's got to get through customs, or it's stuck in customs. That's all shit that you can't plan for it, but you got to be ready. What am I going to do? It's all about that. It's very strategic. It's very strategic. This is not a fucking fly by night kind of, hey, whatever happens, happen. No, you got to be ready for that shit.
And the bigger you get, the more places, more B&Ms and online that you're in, the harder that becomes, I would think. Depending on, you got to really be on top of it, and it's a fun, exciting thing, but also scary.
But I tell you what, I think the biggest feather in the hat of these two guys is balance, and very balanced, and it is very strategic, and it is just, this is how it works, and this is how it's going to be. If we got to slow this down, we slow this down, make sure that this is right, because you be in that position where you're stuck. You can't ever be stuck. The wheels can't. You got to get out of that mud.
Wheels can't stop turning. They got to keep turning.
Absolutely.
Well, anything that we haven't talked about or brought up, guys, Dre and Zach, I mean, that you want to spit out? Or?
Yeah, so I mean, if you got a couple minutes, you guys have
we got all the time in the world.
You guys have been asking us some questions. I want to ask you guys some questions. All right, so I was asked this question on another podcast, and I thought it was a really good question. So, outside of your own brand, so now that you guys, so I guess this question will be directed to everybody. I'll give you my answers too, but outside of your own brand, or brands in John's case that you rep for, what is your, I guess, John, you could say whatever brands you rep for because you don't have ownership. So yeah, what are your favorite boutique or craft, your top 3 favorite boutique craft, non-legacy brand cigars? Not and just brands, not like specific cigars. What are your top
specific cigars
brands?
I was just talking last night. Matter of fact, I think right now for me, maybe I'm being biased. I don't think it's biased. I think that's what really turned me on to Ish was BAMP. When we started looking for factories and people to make our cigars, I was buying people's cigars. And I was looking, how do they taste? What do I like and what they're, and BAMP just has, Ish has this, so many different tobaccos, and it's sustainable. I don't know if you want to go on all that detail, but BAMP cigars, I'm trying to think if I had 3, because mostly Toro has all my favorites right now. That's just the ones that's where I've been buying a lot of them. I bought some from other brands or from some other places, but I think BAMP is probably my top because of the variety. And I'll even throw this out there. I didn't know this, but Ish told Rob the other night that our 2 blends, this is straight out of his mouth, the 2 blends that we have, he even said, he told us, if you don't, after we were trying them, if y'all got to make a decision quick. He was serious, because if you don't want these, I'm taking them. And that comes from where he was telling Rob, those two blends are some of the best blends he's had in 2 years. Like it's just something, and that's saying something. And but his cigars are great. I love your guys' cigars. The Veiled Mutiny is my favorite. I can smoke the other ones, your Shadows and the Cataclysm, but the Veiled Mutiny is mine. And then the third one, oh gosh, let me come back to that one. I'll come back to that one. Who's next?
Cressman,
Well,
you're next.
Go ahead, Chris.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Well, I have to stay with the
That one.
yeah, the Cigar Clowns. Oh,
That was my third one. I'll say that. That was my third one.
Cigar Clowns. I would have to pick Edgar Hoyles or Osag. And I'm not really sure.
It's really hard because there's so many great
Yeah,
cigars out there.
it's like picking. It's like there's so many types.
It's like you got 10 kids and you're trying to pick your favorite 3.
Oh, I'd know my favorite.
That might be easy though, right?
Easy.
A little easier.
So we can even extend it beyond just like super craft, like as long as we're just non-legacy brand, I guess would be the way to put it.
But we did just try Black Label's Morphine the other day, and that one we had the Lancero and I had a Robusto, and my wife we kind of split with my wife, and
The same factory, right, Zach? That's y'all's.
Yeah, and we definitely are going to go back to grab some more of those. So I would say that would be the third one right now. It could change next week.
What about you, Glenn?
Dude,
You can say Black Pearl, but I didn't want to be.
No, you're not allowed to say Black Pearl.
I can't say Black Pearl. I can't say Black Pearl. But I'm like you, because anything I say is going to sound partial. So it's just, ish. It's going to be 3 in a row, across the board. It's not going to be like this and this first, second, and third. So ish. I think GTO Painkiller was, I really enjoyed GTO and HDA,
Thank you. This is by the way, you guys don't feel obligated to say
no.
Because Dre and I are here.
No.
Because, let me tell you this, Zach and Dre, because in my head, you have HDA, and all I can see is your gray band, and the way your fonts used and the way you outline your bands. I mean, that's what I see. And that's a big compliment because, it's a very elegant, very, what's the word? Premium. The way your lettering's used and all that. I mean, you could put it up with a premium cigar and it would fit right in. And when it comes to taste, it's right there. So,
in my opinion.
Yeah.
We appreciate it.
Yeah, because like when you smoke, for me, if I smoke a Veiled Mutiny, of course it's pretty punchy. And if you do some cigars you go to smoke, which is kind of what we got when we smoked ours, other cigars that I've smoked that I enjoy, if I smoke them after ours or after the Veiled Mutiny or some of Vicious cigars, it's like the flavors are muted after I do that, because like you've got these great flavors out of here, and the flavors from the other cigars are muted. Now, on another day, if I started with those cigars are pretty good, but as soon as I would smoke one of the aforementioned ones, it's just that's how good they are to me.
Hey, Randy, let me stop you real quick. Sorry, but Mr. Dre is like, can y'all just You wrap this crap up.
Oh, I'm fine. Oh, I'm good, brother. I'm
I'm
absorbing.
picking on you, Dre.
I gave him the
Zach said
opportunity. He
it's
said,
so
I don't know how much
He's-
time we got,
I
but
just-
I said, you take all the time you need.
No, take all
He's
the
a
time you need.
I love
And Zach,
I love it.
Zach has
I
been a
love it.
trooper. I mean, I was out of the loop for a while, right? So this is my first podcast, actually. So
Sweet.
Yeah, you guys popped this cherry, man.
That's right. We tried to do it back in August. Hey, I'm glad everything is better for you. What about you, Aldi? What is yours?
See, thank you.
It's hard.
Go ahead, Aldi.
For me, I mean, I've said it a million times. A lit cigar is my favorite cigar. There's no,
Yeah,
I mean, I'll
heard that a
I'll
lot.
smoke it. But hands down for me, without question, I'm gonna go family by loyalty. Everything about the family piece of it, everything about working with Alan and Carrie and the whole family and Ernie and Joanne is just I love this. I love the cigars. So that's one I'd say is an all-time, anytime of the day, don't care. I'll find something to
Damn, how
smoke.
could I have forgot Alan? Shit. Yeah.
Right. I mean, Clowns is right up there. HDA is right up there. Dissident, I absolutely love Dissident. So for me, it's anything coming out of Oveja Negra. I love Dissident. I love Blackworks. So it's hard to say for sure, but I mean, the only one I can say comfortably would be family.
That's
Yeah,
fair.
pretty much.
That's reasonable. So I'm gonna try and come up with 3 names that we have not said yet. And I'm specifically because you guys have already said pretty much all the ones I was gonna say. One of the ones I was gonna say it was Banff. I tried them for the first time over at Toro's event. And was very, very impressed with the quality of their cigar. So I mean,
Would I say
trust
the
you guys.
Vlad or the Cameroon was one of them?
It was a blood. He had the blood.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So I mean, you guys are. I think if anything's a testament to the quality of cigars that you guys are going to get, it's knowing that you're associated with a brand like that has really good quality cigars. So I mean, I haven't met Ish yet. Seems like a really good dude. He's killing it out there. So
He just joined. He said, "Evening, everyone."
Oh, did he? Nice.
Mhm.
Shout out, man. It was a great stick. Really great. But I'm gonna try and come up with a couple brands, not legacy brands, probably gonna be a little bit bigger that we haven't named yet. I am a big fan. They're a bigger brand, but I'm a big fan of Foundation as well. I think what Foundation does, I mean, they kill it. And yeah, I'm a really big fan of Foundation.
I like them too.
Yeah, John already kind of mentioned Dissident, so he stole that one. But I was trying to think outside the box here. Really, Dissident is awesome, but like you said, anything out of Oveja Negra, Black Label, that's obvious. Have you guys tried Jake Wyatt cigars too?
I have not, but I know
Yes.
Crispin has.
I have. Yeah.
Okay, so I mean, one of the things Cigar Wrap was kind of talking about this a little bit earlier is like their presentation is immaculate. They kill it with the presentation game. So and they have a really, really solid cigar too. And then you guys already said Clowns too. Family by Loyalty, man. Those being able to meet all those guys too, like at the Toro event was awesome. Really, really good people. I mean, yeah. I mean, the Family by Loyalty family, they were awesome to meet. So I think I've named like 5 brands, but
So I gotta say, the
We
box
could
of
name
Hoot
one.
Youngs I got from the Toro.
Hoot and Young is another one. Yeah.
Fantastic.
What's it? The Serpent? What is that called?
The Gothic Serpent.
Yeah.
Great smoke.
Yep.
We didn't even bring up. I mean, like I'm a huge Tatuaje fan. There is nothing that they have that I don't love. I love Tatuaje, and also the other one too is Stolen Thrones. Holy shit, what that
We were
dude
just
did!
talking about
Stolen
that.
Thrones,
Cryptid.
no joke. That's big
Zach,
sky.
I thought you were big into Roma Craft too, right?
I love Roma Craft, man. They're pretty big at this point. I think the Neanderthal is one of my favorite cigars of all time. I love Roma Craft, man. Yeah,
That kicks my ass. That and a Cro-Mag kicks my ass.
So the first time I ever smoked Neanderthal, I smoked it, and I was at I I don't know if G's still on. I was actually with G, and maybe it wasn't the first time, but it was. I ended up having the Neanderthal. I smoked it, and I went back to the humidor and grabbed another one and smoked 2 Neanderthals back to back. I love that cigar. That's a damn good cigar, man. Yeah, that's a damn good cigar.
What about you, Dre?
I'm kind of with you guys. I think I've named them all. I'm in love with Blackworks. I mean, not just because I work with them, I'm in love with them. Of course, our own, and then Zach has got me venturing out. Like I said, the Roma Craft brand. So I've been sampling some of those cigars since Zach mentioned it. And then I won that box, that Hounian box that got the Serpent, and I really enjoyed that. So that's pretty awesome. Presentation is amazing. And of course, it's a tribute to Mogadishu. So it's pretty awesome.
Do you find
Andray did a straight mic drop, won the fucking box, and said, "All right, later, bitches," and left.
Oh, dude, that was because that box resonated with me. I was like, "Oh man, got this." And I was in 10 Mountain Division, so I got there after that event happened. But I was like, "All right, that's it. I'm out."
Do you guys find on your how long, Zach? How long you been smoking like craft or ultra boutique, or I'm talking about craft? Well, let's just say craft.
Yeah, I can honestly say that for the last probably 5 or 6 years, I haven't smoked a single that I can remember. I haven't smoked a single legacy brand cigar.
So when you first, so craft is a very new journey for me. What June we had Mike on here, and that's what kind of started our journey. So like 6 months ago into the craft cigars, and it was all for me. It was Perdermo and Perdermo.
I was there. That was that night. Night. I first met these guys. We're all on, and they're talking about their Rocky Patels and all this other stuff. And I'm looking at them.
But not just any Rocky Patel.
What are we doing? And I said, Randy, get on Toro. And that dude, he dropped like 400 that night on Toro, and that changed everything. Like literally changed everything for me.
It did. And smoking
everything else.
Again, smoking these craft cigars made it tough. Now, I will say this, like when you mentioned a foundation, man, I love some like Tabernacle and I still have, when I do go, Elwyn's and Tabernacle, and there's another one, but those are like when I go to the lounge now. I used to go fill up on Legacy. Now, when I go to the lounge, I'll get a handful of foundation and maybe a couple of the Southern Draw. I still dig. Of course, I guess they could be kind of on that. They're out of Austin, so I don't know. They're kind of up there. I guess they're selling in Cigars International, but they still have some like a Jacob's Ladder and stuff like that. That's the stuff that I like. But there's just very few of those cigars that I'll go to now because I would rather, and I enjoy the craft blends better. They just have more to offer as far as flavor, the transitions or the change of flavor, however you want to call it. There's just more of that in those kind of cigars to me, I think.
I mean, well before I ever even thought about starting a cigar brand, well before I met Andray, when I guess it was probably when I knew Andray. I mean, I just had I dove into just wanting to. I don't drink much in the way of beer.
Right.
I'm just not a big beer guy, but I equate it to what a lot of people that are beer snobs, the way that they like to go to craft breweries, right? And find those unique flavors, and that's kind of what really started me wanting to try all these boutique or craft brand blends of cigars and brands. And genuinely, I can say what really started me going down that journey was trying Blackworks and Black Label. I mean, I was floored, and it was and Crespin, he has one of probably my favorite cigar lounge in the world in his backyard.
I've been telling these guys about it for a long time.
He has.
I remember I remember very distinctly. I walked in on a Saturday morning, probably 30 minutes after they opened, and I walked in, and the owner, super nice guy, I forget his name, super nice guy, beard tatted up, big gauges, and Yeah. And I was talking with him, and he showed me around the humidor, and I think I knew one brand in the humidor. And so I was like, dude, I don't know where to go here, man. And so he ended up giving me a few to try, and I tried Blackworks. I think the very first one that I smoked was the Benediction, and so I had like 3 or 4 from that point on, man. It was just like I genuinely feel like the quality control for some of these smaller brands is at a superior level than a lot of your legacy brands. I from a flavor and from a construction perspective, I felt like I got a lot more joy out of some of these craft brands. To be able to say that maybe not early, but before a lot of people knew about some of these brands, it was nice to say that, I was kind of in the ground floor. And,
Dude, I got to caveat you on that, man, and then kind of a shout out to our fellow veterans over at Southern Draw, man. That Rose of Sharon, which Zach introduced me to. That is a fantastic smoke with a Connecticut wrapper. Oh my God, that smoke is great.
It blows me. What I think is really funny about the Rose of Sharon is probably I think that cigar would probably be significantly more popular if the band wasn't pink. But because the band is pink, there's probably so many guys that are like, no, I'm not going to smoke a pink cigar. Bro, that cigar
fantastic smoke.
That is a great freaking smoke.
Yes.
Goes great with a cup of coffee too. For sure.
Great cigar.
Well, anything else? Because I see Glenn's up there about to fall asleep because the dog didn't. I don't know what's wrong with him. It's 9 o'clock. Glenn.
Yeah, it's 9 o'clock your time. Hey, out here it's 10 o'clock, man.
John's ready. You're about to.
No, I'm good. I'm good. I haven't even brought out the drumsticks yet.
I know. That's when you know when he starts flipping that. Okay, it's doom 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 doom.
It's like
and that was
cold
great
outside.
How cold is it outside there? Oh, it says 50 here.
Like
so
40?
50. Oh my God, I wish.
It is 52.
I'm trying, Greg.
But it feels
I'm
like
trying.
49. But the pipe is warm. It's keeping my hands warm. So I'm just like.
Well, that's a good reason to smoke a pipe then. Yeah.
It's 26 degrees here, and it was probably about 25-mile-an-hour winds outside.
Damn.
You guys, if Dre and I were sitting outside, all you hear is like, and then you just see it shivering her ass. Not smoking cigars like you guys.
Dude, it was so bad. So I got a full quart of firewood last week. The guy stacked it all up, and they left a little more space than I thought they would for me to cover it. And literally, I went out there this morning, dude. My whole full quart was on the ground, bro. So I'm out there this morning picking up a full quart of firewood.
Oh my gosh, stacking it back up.
Yeah, it was insane. The winds were crazy.
That's a lot of wind.
Yeah,
Any more last thoughts? I'm good. I'm not rushing anybody. I'm good with whatever.
No,
we go 5 hours sometimes.
The only thing I would say, the only thing I'd say is I throw it in there is if you guys haven't had a chance to try HDA yet, jump onto our website, HDA Cigars. That has a full list of all of our brick and mortar retailers. Has a full list of our online retailers, to include partners like the awesome dudes over at Toro Cigars.
You know how many you're in right now? Virtual and
I don't know, 20, 25, something like that.
That's a lot, dude. Yeah. That's a lot for and since what, April? When did y'all launch?
April.
Yeah.
Wow.
April 1st.
That's awesome.
April 1st, my ass went and rented a U-Haul and drove over to New Jersey and picked up 2 giant pallets of cigars. It's funny, I was thinking about picking all these cigars up in my truck, and I was like, I'm going to play it safe and go grab a U-Haul. And if I had driven my truck, I would have been in deep shit. I would have ended up having to make 2 trips. So, a U-Haul full of cigars, we picked it up on April 1st.
If anybody on here is from Texas and they know some lounges around here, HDA Cigars would love to be put out here in Texas. Give them a scream. And they would. Crespin, these guys right here.
Crespin's probably around the most lounges. We have some hour south, hour north, but none east and west till you get to about where
Crespin's right there.
I got one like a mile from here, Smokers Abbey. There's one in Marble Falls.
HDA Cigars, Crest.
Yeah.
Make it happen, Captain.
Yeah, we'll just hit us up. hit us up. Check us out on our website. We have all of our contact information, but it's info@HDA Cigars. So yeah, just give us a try. If you guys ever need anything, reach out to us, or if you know John, reach out to John, and we'll get you we'll get you situated.
When ours arrive, which will be pretty quick, I'll hit you up and we'll swap. We'll do
man.
swapping.
I think we just need to make a trip down to Texas, meet up with you guys in person.
I think you do.
That sounds awesome.
You should.
Yeah, with you guys in person, and
I'll put you up in a cabin free of charge, luxury cabin. I'll put you up. Just let me.
You guys have a luxury cabin on your property?
He works right down the road from us.
I manage a luxury resort down here.
Crespin stayed in them a couple times already.
Twice, yeah.
Hey, say less, man. We'll pick you up on that. That'd be awesome.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
come on.
155
Let me know.
acres with a big lake out in front, and
Oh wow.
I'll bring my
Cabins,
bow with me
basically.
too. Ooh, that's
golf cart to ride all over the place and
Not
check
just
everything.
a golf cart. Golf cart's lifted, gas powered,
yeah.
big old tires. Yeah, this is Texas, brother.
My wife likes it.
I spent about a year in Texas when I was in the military, and I'm born and raised in Iowa, so I'm not used to like the Washington D.C. I don't really like the big city, but I dig Texas. Living.
Oh,
when
this is in the country. We in the country.
Yeah.
We in the big. We ain't in the big thicket, but we pretty close.
We pretty
There ain't nothing
daggone
but
close.
nothing but big pine trees out here.
I love
Some oaks and stuff, but yeah.
Look, I
We'll
told you
make that
guys
happen.
earlier, man. I'm from Arkansas. Like, let's go. I'm a country boy at heart.
Yeah, Arkansas.
Don't
Nice.
get the clothes twisted.
Come
I'm a
on,
country
Dre.
boy.
Come
Well,
on.
let's go. Let's go.
So one of the first times I ever saw Dre outside of work, 'cause where we worked, we ended up having to wear kind of nice clothes. The first time I was with Dre outside of work, he rolled up in his camo hat and
Nice.
jeans, and I was like, all right, Dre, I like this.
Wait a minute. Tell before I got the new vehicle, what vehicle did I have before? Ram 3500 diesel mega cab.
No, he
Let's
didn't.
go.
No, he didn't.
Let's go. Oh yeah.
Dre's a
Country boy.
That is amazing.
Yeah, man.
Oh my God, that's
I still have a Ram. It ain't mega cab, but I had a Ram 3500.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I'm on my
like that
second
cab.
Ram, and I love it. I love it. Yeah, I had an F-150, and now I'm on my second Ram.
I like them. They hold up really nice. I've had several different trucks over the years, and I still like the Rams better. And there's really, like G said, there is some great barbecue here.
Yeah.
I think it's the best barbecue. It's the best barbecue.
Absolutely.
Except for when Rob come down, he's originally from Jersey, lives in Georgia. When he came, they were staying in the cabins back in September, and they called the pizza place right here, and he's like, I need 3 large pies. And the country girl on the phone from Texas is like, what? We don't serve pies here, sir. I said, tell them pizzas. He said, pizzas. Oh, okay.
Yeah, man,
I-
that would be fun. That'd be fun. Bring some guns, bring some cigars.
Heck yeah.
Heck yeah, Dre. And
I
Zach.
just got a new gun for Christmas, man. I finally told my wife I ordered it. So but
Hey, Glenn,
got
that's
a new
when you got this one,
CMG
we're
Banshee 9mm, so I'm super happy about it.
In the past, we threw around. This is before we got into the cigar industry part of it. Just early on, about a year ago, we were talking about, because it's 155 acres. It's got, I don't know how big is the what do you call it? Not the pavilion. What do you call that? The
hall.
The hall it's real nice. They do weddings, graduations, all kinds of. It's a venue. But the problem is you can't smoke in the venue, right? You can't smoke inside of it. You can smoke outside of it, and that was we were looking at doing something out there, and maybe even starting it annually, but doing something with a whole bunch of different brands out there, because it's huge. But it's the thing about it though, it's kind of so far. You're 20 minutes away from like a main town like Huntsville, which is a large college town, and the people would come, but it's gonna, we just don't know if a lot of people would come. That's the whole thing. But it would be a bad to the bone place to have something, an event like that, because not only you got the venue, but there's so much property around it to set up tents, and a lot of concrete out there. There's a swimming pool out there if it's summertime or warm enough for swimming. It's just It's just a cool spot.
How far away are you guys from Huntsville?
20 minutes.
20 minutes.
20
Yeah, we're
minutes?
like 20, not even
Yeah.
20 miles from Huntsville, Texas.
Shit. So do you guys go to many of the cigar lounges in Huntsville?
There is none in Huntsville. Not Huntsville, Texas.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. There's hopefully going to be a lounge right here between Glenn and I by the end of next year, hopefully. That's the
I was
plan.
thinking that they had something out there. All right. Well,
Yeah, you got Conroe. That's about the closest you got, which is just south of, about 20 minutes south of Huntsville, where you got your lounges. There's quite a few over there. And then the closer you get to Houston, but then the closest one to us north is Lufkin, and that's about an hour away. And then you kind of got to go further north.
It's sad. It's
East
sad,
and west,
guys.
there's nothing. And we have a golf community right across the street from us. I mean, I can see the holes from my front of my driveway.
Hey,
And then
howdy.
there's a 6-hole golf course they're putting in right directly behind my house here. So perfect place for a cigar lounge, I would think.
Your watch should be in within 6 days.
Who's that to?
Audi.
Me.
Oh, you got a watch? Oh,
Well, no, I, the one I ordered.
that's right. That's right. That's right. That's right. Well,
So
if y'all haven't heard of this is Sulu. It's a
Oh
beautiful
my
brand.
God.
we got more coming today.
Dude,
Hey,
no.
you got to calculate that 10% as a wash.
dude, hey man, I'll tell you, man. If there's one thing that I've learned after the cigar brand, you got to be careful not to get high on your own supply.
Hey,
Thank
I've been
you,
saying that a
Jack.
lot. I'm smoking
All he
Glenn's part
does
too,
is
though.
smoke up the product.
Look, dude, look, I'll tell you. I genuinely, I'm not even joking, man. I invoice myself for the same price that I sell it to retailers, and I pay out of my own pocket because otherwise my ass would be smoking our. I mean, it would kill us.
Well, these are
I'm
these
paying
are
for
our
it.
samples right now, so I'm okay.
I'm calling
These are our
Mike.
samples.
I'm calling Mike.
I need help. I need an
I need like
intervention.
3,000 more
I need the
samples.
intervention, Mike.
Right?
Well, I think it would be cool right around the time you guys launch. You guys should do something, and I think it would be cool if we could get out there and just at least meet you guys and like give you congratulations. on your
Fuck
launch.
yeah.
Yeah,
Heck
Yeah.
yeah.
man.
I think
Be
it'd be
great.
Are you guys doing? Are you guys going to do PA this year?
Are you asking us or are you asking?
No, HDA. You going to do PCA?
Yeah, we are. We're going to be attending. I don't think we're going to get a booth. I think we're at a minute. We're just going to probably attend, just walk, meet some people, run into some people that we know. But I don't think we're going to get a booth this year.
Well, we'll definitely see you there in
Yeah,
some form or fashion. We'll see you there too.
Perfect.
Uh,
We'll probably bring like 3 checked bags full of cigars. So
Heck yeah.
What's up, Bryce? You want to run that? Bryce just joined. You want to run that
Go with the
promo or
glasses.
whatever he's got going on?
I
Yeah.
don't even need it. So Bryce is doing from Silent Hero Cigars. Bryce is doing a raffle right now, and I think there was 10 packages. So if you go to Silent Hero Cigars, he's running it until the 20th of December, and you've got a couple choices. Put packages together to buy a shirt and some samples of cigars, and you're going to get entered into a raffle to get tickets for it. 20% of the proceeds are going to go to feed and help out homeless veterans in Cheyenne, Wyoming. So, and it doesn't get much better as a cause goes. Everybody knows Bryce is very big into that. And, just off the top, 10% of what he does goes to different programs for PTSD for veterans and whatnot. So it's a great opportunity to help out for Chris. And there's a shit ton of really cool raffle gifts that you've got an opportunity with. So Hero Cigar there, grab some cigars, and the cigars are great. He's another one that's just tons of passion, and he's just got a line of smokes. And I say it every time, it's the best Candela I've ever smoked. Period. It's the best Candela I've ever smoked. And
It's very good.
so
It
yeah,
really is.
you give it a shot.
nice, awesome.
Any final words?
Yeah. Final words. I'm kicking your ass.
Hey, let me just tell you, hold fast and stay true.
Yeah.
Because the storm's coming, baby. You come after me, gimped or not. I got a good leg and 2 good arms.
Well, guys, thanks for coming onto our podcast. And
Oh, Zach.
and so
Great,
good.
definitely.
Yeah, it's been awesome. Hey, if y'all want to hang around, if you got something, if you want to talk offline, just hang out into the, just hang out and we'll get you back in. But yeah, appreciate y'all coming on and thanks for the giveaway and everything sounds real cool and you're always welcome back, man. We'd love to hear, especially if you got something new coming or anytime y'all ready to do it, just hit us up. That's what we're here for. And we love having fun. But everybody out there in the comments, peace out. Love y'all. Stay safe. Also, we'll probably get on Discord or something here in a little bit.
Yeah, we are.
So. All right. Peace out, y'all.